My name is Ria Levis, and I am the president of the Cuesta College chapter of Alpha Gamma Sigma. We begin tonight with an Indigenous Peoples Land Acknowledgement. San Luis Obispo and Monterey counties are home to the northern Chumash and Selknam cultures. And I would now like to take a moment to share with you a little bit about Alpha Gamma Sigma and about tonight's event. Alpha Gamma Sigma, better known as AGS, is the Academic Honor Society and Service Organization of the California Community Colleges. AGS members maintain a cumulative GPA of 3.0 or higher and perform volunteer service to their college and to the local community. The first AGS Appreciation Awards were held 14 years ago. They were initially proposed and developed by AGS student officers and have since become an annual tradition for our chapter. Each year, we send out a message to our student members, inviting them to nominate Cuesta College faculty and staff members who have gone above and beyond expectations to influence their success. The AGS Executive Cabinet officers then review these nominations and select the year's honorees. And we are very excited to share the students' experiences with you and to celebrate them with Cuesta College's excellent faculty and staff. It is now my honor to welcome the superintendent/president of Cuesta College, Dr. Jill Stearns, to the podium.
Thank you and welcome, everyone. One of the things that I love about community colleges is the way we celebrate. We celebrate the excellence of our students at commencement. We celebrate the excellence of our faculty through tenure. And I think this event is a perfect blending of both. We get to hear the student stories, and in particular, how a faculty member or a classified professional has significantly impacted them on their journey. So on behalf of the Board of Trustees and all of the employees of Cuesta College, I extend my heartfelt congratulations to all of our award winners this evening, and my deepest thanks to AGS for making this possible. Thank you. Good evening. My name is Samantha Wong. Please join me in welcoming Professor Beth Ann Dumas to the stage. Professor Dumas teaches in the Communication Studies Department at Cuesta College. She has been an instructor at Cuesta College for 26 years. Professor Dumas has gone beyond normal expectations in everything she does, from how she sets up her modules to her 5-point grading system to how she constructs her assignments to benefit all of her students. She not only communicates what she wants students to do, but also why, which promotes a deep understanding. She genuinely cares about her students' growth both in and out of the classroom. The AGS member who nominated Professor Dumas wrote, quote, "Going into this class, public speaking was one of my biggest fears, but thanks to Professor Dumas, I came out with so much more confidence in myself. I never expected to feel so inspired and supported. She truly transformed my outlook and helped me grow in ways I didn't think were possible. Congratulations, Professor Dumas, and thank you for your outstanding work."
Well, I feel like this is the equivalent to winning an Oscar. And Dr. Gilbert said to prepare remarks around 3 minutes, and I'm a comm instructor, so please hang in there with me for the next 3 minutes. When I first started teaching, we used overhead projectors with transparencies. And we used chalk on the chalkboard. And students did their research in the library using a card catalog. And we recorded speeches in public speaking classes with VHS tapes that students brought, and then they viewed them at home on their VHS players. So teaching and learning was pretty simple and straightforward. Now, we have multimedia presentations, and instructors and students are navigating our learning management system, Canvas, together, and we all have adapted and are adapting to endless evolving technology, and now AI. And participating in a pilot study using Nectar's AI teaching assistant in spring. So my students will try out an AI buddy to help them succeed. And we'll see how that goes. But what hasn't changed is hardworking students, pursuing their dreams and holding down jobs and coming home tired, but taking a deep breath and diving right into their schoolwork. Some with their kids on their lap. They are struggling, and they are persevering, and they are striving to make a better future for themselves. And they deserve 100% from us. They deserve for us to seek their feedback and make changes, to respond quickly to their questions. They deserve for us to breathe life into what we teach by making connections to their lived experience. They deserve for us to provide them opportunities for creativity and flexibility while keeping them on track. But most of all, they deserve for us to care and to really see them and to be present and to be passionate about our teaching and their learning. As I often say, teaching is more than a job, it's a calling. And to fulfill its potential all the way involves support from others, like my dean, Aubrey Kwan-Roderick, who centers students in everything she does and every decision she makes, and it makes it a lot easier for me to do what I do. And my husband, Mark Weber, who shares this calling with me, and who not so long ago was honored at this same event, and who is an amazing educator, cook, listener, and advice giver, who brings light and love into my life, and who essentially holds our household together so I can work on my classes every day and every weekend. I am so deeply honored to be recognized, along with my impressive colleagues inside and outside the classroom tonight, for making a difference in a student's life. Because that is what we're all here for, and that is what a college is for at its very core. So, thank you.
Good evening. My name is Christine Ferrara. Please join me in welcoming Professor David Fernandez to the stage. Professor Fernandez teaches in the architecture department at Cuesta College. He's been an instructor at Cuesta College for 24 years. Professor Fernandez has gone beyond normal expectations by bringing real-world experience to his teaching. As an architect, David Fernandez has designed many public schools that encourage learning and positively impact student well-being. As both an educator and a professional architect, David Fernandez has improved his community by fostering an environment where local children can flourish and move into higher education. There's a whole generation of architects who have begun their journey at Cuesta thanks to David Fernandez. The nominating AGS member wrote, "Having been out of school for 10 years, I thought I would always work construction or some other job that simply paid the bills. Professor Fernandez has influenced my success as a student at Cuesta College by helping me to fully explore my passion for design without completely rearranging my life. Professor Fernandez shares his passion for design and his career experiences, and he provides one-on-one critiques to improve my personal practices. Congratulations, Professor Fernandez, and thank you for your outstanding work."
Thank you very much for those kind words. And thank you so much for this incredible honor. It was a genuine surprise when I heard about the award. To be recognized for doing what I love to do is truly humbling, and I'm so grateful to Alpha Gamma Sigma for this distinction. Teaching has never just been a job for me. It's something that I'm deeply passionate about. Being a part of my students' journeys, watching them grow and reach their goals is something that brings me immense joy and pride. I couldn't have done this without the incredible energy and dedication of my students. They, you, curiosity, questions, and courage to embrace the learning process inspire me every single day, and it reminds me why teaching is such a rewarding journey. This award is a reminder that even small acts of showing kindness, listening, or just being present can have a huge impact on a community. Skip that. I'm so grateful to be a part of this community that values those things. And thank you again for this incredible recognition. It means the world to me, and I'm so lucky to share this journey with all of you. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Sarah Harvey. Please join me in welcoming Professor Matt Fleming to the stage. Professor Fleming teaches in the English department at Cuesta College. He has been an instructor at Cuesta College for 28 years. Professor Fleming demonstrates an obvious passion for teaching students how to develop their writing and critical thinking skills. He motivates students to question the methodology of their thinking, encouraging them to explore other perspectives and see things from different points of view. He encourages his students to engage in their learning experiences through his open communication policy. His teaching style invites personal growth along with an expanded and well-rounded outlook on the world. Professor Fleming has influenced my success as a student at Cuesta College by allowing lengthy spaces of time in between essay submissions. During these spaces, he provides a great deal of information, references, videos, and explanations of the concepts we are learning so we can integrate the new material into our essay with a deeper understanding of how it all relates to the subject. Through Professor Fleming's instruction, my writing has become much clearer and more concise. Congratulations, Professor Fleming, and thank you for your outstanding work.
Yes, Sarah makes my job really easy, though. She didn't point that part out, because I get a paper from her, I get a call asking about a certain thing, and I start talking to her, and we start talking about Big Sur, and we start talking about environmental issues and all this other stuff, and pretty soon we're probably an hour into a conversation that's as much about life as it is about writing. But those two go nicely together, and she does an amazing job at writing, and so I've already co-opted her to be one of our tutors and go on from there. But yes, 27, 28 years, something like that. And quite a few years ago, I went, before it was obviously required to teach online courses, so hopefully, I had a whole division, a whole English division was like, we can never teach online, or what we do online. Quoting it exactly. And so I was like, well, I want to go see if I can make it agreeable to you guys and make it effective enough that if we ever had to go to online, not knowing what was coming, maybe we could, do it effectively enough. So I spent, I don't know, 5 or 6, 7 years before COVID, teaching online fully, and then trying to get my students to tell me what worked and what didn't, do surveys, like what forum did you like, and which one didn't you like, how much of this do you actually do, and do you read my content materials, or just actually trying to be honest with them and not deduct points for their answers, so that I could get the honest feedback of like, what works here, because there's no stopping this, so I want to be, driving it rather than it driving us, and that's of course the same with AI and all the rest of the things. You don't always get to decide what comes in, and as Beth Ann mentioned, it is exactly that, right? Math teachers using abacus is only maybe 10 years ago is what it feels like, right? Considering where we've come with technology. I mean, really would have never thought my career would be doing what I do now. I mean, that's just a startling thing when you teach English, because it had been done so much the same for so many years, right? And that's a hard thing to think any differently. But the same thing applies actually to me. And whether it's online teaching, or I love face-to-face teaching, I love interacting with students in the classroom and all that. So it was kind of a difficult thing to do. But as was the case with Sarah and many of my other students, we still get that in a good online course. We get that through the students and their discussion forums and them relating to each other. If the prompts are done well, they're learning, they're connecting. But there's nothing that beats the good old telephone or Zoom. And I think that even though I run asynchronous classes and we don't meet regularly by seeing each other face-to-face or talking on the phone, but I absolutely, this isn't always a recommended policy for everyone to do, but my students know my number, they text me, they call me, and it works for me, but more importantly, it does the one thing that you can't quite get, which is that little bit of personal voice, intonation, right, just connection that the zeros and ones can't quite do no matter how well you do it. And so the discussion I had with Sarah, as I've had with many of my other students over the years, over the phone or on Zoom, brings it to that level where, oh, you're getting almost just as much as you're getting in a face-to-face class, but you're also potentially getting more in other ways. And so the exchange, I felt, is worth it. And I just really appreciated that one of my online students would recommend me for this, because I think what I was telling the table back here, when I was here for my second year or something as a full-time faculty member, I got the faculty teaching award, but before I got it, not knowing I was going to get it, I leaned over to a colleague and said, why don't they ever give this to a new faculty? And then of course I got it and I was, oh gosh, I can't believe I just said that, right? And I was thinking of you, right? You're getting the award, right? And it's like, and it's probably just like with me, it's been all downhill, and it will be for me. But this award made me feel like it wasn't quite the case, so I really appreciate it. And I think that the last thing I'll say is this: I had to come back. I'm still teaching all online, but I had to come back to Cuesta. Both my girls are off at college finally, and so I have a little more time. And I was like, I got to get back to that dose of just being with students. And so I'm interested in making a robust writing center for us beyond what it already is, which is great, but something that really delivers that last element, whether you're in an online course or in a face-to-face course. The last element that we all most need is to feel like we belong and feel like people care about our future. And I know that that's what this faculty does extremely well, but I really wanted to come back and do more of that with being in the room, literally, as opposed to just doing these things only in the virtual realm. And so that has been a really nice thing, and this is a great way to kick it off, so thank you.
Good evening. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Summer Gish to the stage. Ms. Gish has served as a counselor at Cuesta College for 10 years. She has gone beyond normal expectations by being kind, thorough, and accurate in her work. She leaves no stone unturned to ensure the success of Cuesta students. She takes their problems on and handles them with the care of someone who knows the gravity of the outcome. She checked every UCI CAG program requirement individually to make sure I met it. She walked me through IGETC requirements, and she rearranged the classes I was taking by priority. She even made time after her scheduled work hours to talk with me by phone on the last weekday before the deadline to drop classes. Ms. Gish has influenced my success as a student at Cuesta College by resolving my class schedule into one that meets deadlines, satisfies the requirements of all universities to which I will apply for transfer, and even has a manageable workload. She arranged everything in a better way than I thought possible. Congratulations, Ms. Gish, and thank you for your outstanding work.
Thank you so much. I'm very, very honored and just surprised and delighted that you've nominated me for this award tonight. I really love counseling. I think it's one of the best jobs in the house. partly because I'm uncomfortable being up here talking to a whole bunch of people. Past life, I did do that. Then I was in English comparative literature, and I did do that for a while. And I kind of I'm more of an introvert. I really enjoy one-on-one conversations. And so I left that whole life behind, and I went and got a different master's, and I did that. And worked in counseling, and I don't regret it at all. The thing I like about this job is, what Bree mentioned is, the nuts and bolts and the finer details, but that's not really what I love about the job. I really like talking to students, sometimes over the course of years, because, they'll come back sometimes they're here for 3 or 4 years. So you really get to establish, a relationship with students. I really like that I don't just talk about academics with students. We talk about everything, and once they're comfortable, they'll come in and tell me about other things. And so I get to celebrate with them when they come back and tell me that they got that hard-won acceptance to their 4-year school or to their program, or to a different program at a different college. And so I get to celebrate with them and be excited, and then I also get to have the conversations where they come in and things have not gone the way they hoped, and things aren't going well. And so then you get to sit there with them during those times and talk about that, I enjoy that as well. So I just really enjoy the connections that you can make with students in this job. And I love the fact that we can talk about their lives, not just their academics, but everything. And that's what keeps me motivated to keep doing it. And I will say that I love the variety as well, because Cuesta College students keep it real. So it's never boring, it's never dull. Every single 45-minute session is something new. I can never predict what it's going to be, and I love that. So it's very exciting, and it's very rewarding. And being able to get an award on top of it is really the cherry on top. So thank you very much.
Good evening. My name is Nova Simmons. Please join me in welcoming Professor Sharon Houghton to the stage. Professor Houghton has served as a reference librarian and library information technology instructor at Cuesta College for 8 years. Professor Houghton has gone beyond normal expectations by treating her students with respect and kindness. Even when I mess up an assignment, Sharon is right there, reaching out with help. There have been times when I did not understand how to do something, and she zoomed me to figure out the issues I was having. She is a top-notch instructor who finds the good in every one of her students and pushes us to do our best. Professor Houghton has influenced my success as a student at Cuesta College by being a genuinely caring instructor. I know that when she comments on one of my assignments, she will offer praise for what I have done well, and she will offer insight into how I could have done better. She makes me feel like I am giving my all, and when I am not, she checks in on me and makes sure I am okay. Congratulations, Professor Houghton, and thank you for your outstanding work.
First of all, I can't hop on the stage like everybody else. And secondly, it tells me that I need to take a communication class because my notes are like this. and I can get in front of kids and do anything, but adults, it's a whole different story. So I'm very humbled and honored to have this recognition. Thank you. And my sister is here, and she knows that as a child, I was always a reader. And growing up on a huge 200 to 300 acre citrus ranch, we had trees. We didn't have friends or anything, we had trees. And my parents had lots and lots of books everywhere. So I subjected my teddy bears and dolls and my family, my kids, to playing the library, where I read them stories and made them check out books. And I give that a lot of credit for me wanting to then become a teacher librarian. And I was in San Luis Coastal for 28 years as a district librarian and working in the schools. And now to be able to come back and give to Cuesta, that started me on my journey as a librarian and give back. I'm so honored to be here and supporting the students and instructors that I work with. So one of the things that's been really important to me and are children's picture books. And one of my favorite children's picture books is called The Three Questions. And it's based on a story by Leo Tolstoy. And that has always been what has been my compass in doing what I do for students. And those three questions are, what is the best thing to do? When is the right time to do it? And who am I doing it for? And I've always kept that in mind as I'm instructing and sharing with students about books and resources and technology and integrating all of that together to develop young readers and thinkers and ethical users of information. So, of course, this is the children's version of that Leo Tolstoy story, but it's a beautiful watercolor illustrated book that has just so much to offer that I tend to give students when they graduate from high school. And not the Dr. Seuss book, but this one, The Three Questions. So, I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to read adult literature again, considering I've been on Caldecott and I'm going on to Newberry. I just read kids' books and young adult books, and that's the class that I teach, and that's what I offer my students when they're looking for things and learning how to be a librarian or a library tech in our schools throughout the county, or throughout the state, actually. And I have even somebody in Idaho right now I'm working with. So I'd like to thank Cuesta and the students for helping me become the person that I am and the teacher that I am. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Emery Dornbos. Please join me in welcoming Professor Amelia Marini to the stage. Professor Marini teaches in the English department at Cuesta College. She has been an instructor at Cuesta College for 6 years. Professor Marini goes above and beyond normal expectations through her intelligence and proficiency as a professor. She teaches in a way that expands her students' learning capabilities. Her class discussions are extremely well planned and meaningful, making students feel that their voices matter. Her assignments and in-class work include teaching that covers all learning types, giving every student a chance to thrive. Professor Marini has influenced student success at Cuesta College by helping students learn how to make persuasive arguments, which can help them build on other topics as they come across them in their studies. She also helps students learn to portion their schoolwork as to not feel overwhelmed, but also to complete the work in an adequate amount of time. Congratulations, Professor Marini. Thank you for your outstanding work.
Hello. Thank you, AGS students, for selecting me to receive the 2024 Appreciation Award. This is such a special way to finish out a semester that at times has felt particularly challenging. Like everyone in here, I go through periods where I am on my game and I am excited about my teaching and I feel great about everything. But also, as everyone does, I sometimes experience weeks or months where I'm not quite sure what I'm doing, or I can't find my zone, or I feel a little lost. And one thing that I know that I have in common with my students is that sometimes I find myself concerned about things that I cannot control. Some of those concerns are personal, some of them are national, some of them are global. We all know what that's like, and we know that at best, those worries can be nagging, and at worst, they can be quite heavy and hard to carry. But when I find myself feeling a little lost, American literature scholar that I am, I return to something that Ralph Waldo Emerson wrote in Self-Reliance, a really misunderstood essay by one of my favorite writers. He said, "Do your work and I shall know you." For me, this has become a bit of a mantra. When I feel overwhelmed or uncertain or anxious, I try to figure out what my work is, at home, on campus, or in my community. On campus, that work is teaching, but this might look like lecturing, or this might look like grading, or this might look like having a few reassuring words to share between classes. And I have learned that regardless of the many things I can't control, that if I can show up for my students on a weekly basis, I will have done my small part to contribute to a more humane, more loving, more substantial experience of learning. I often discover that finding your path with the little things leads to finding your way with the bigger things too. So when the million little and big worries creep in, and they will, and they do, I will encourage you, our students, to try this technique too. Find the work that you were meant to do in your slice of the world. The work that feels right, the work that makes the world a little better, the work that makes the most of whatever resources that you have, and see what a difference your work makes. Believe that teaching makes a difference, but teaching is often an act of faith. You prepare, you show up, you do the best you can, but you don't always know for sure the impact that you have. Did the students get it? Did it mean to them what I hoped it would? These are the questions that I'm left with today and at the end of every semester. I thank you so much for choosing to honor me with this award tonight because it helps me to know that my work, the little bit that I contribute to the whole that is Cuesta College, has mattered. I hope as instructors at Cuesta, we've helped you to become more confident in your abilities and your growing sense of vocation. I hope we've given you one more pack of batteries for the flashlight you use to find your way. But also, just as importantly, and you may not realize it, you do that for us too. Your presence, your curiosity, your excitement refuels our sense of purpose each semester and encourages us to learn and grow along with you. This is such a gift, and I thank you for it.
Good evening. My name is Kelly Garcia. Please join me in welcoming Miss Lisa Matthews to the stage. Ms. Matthews has served as an academic success specialist here at Cuesta College in the nursing department for 3 years. Ms. Matthews goes beyond normal expectations in the encouragement and support of me and my classmates. She provides helpful resources and information about things like scholarship opportunities. She also comes into the nursing classrooms to offer students test-taking strategies that will help us when we take our state board exams. Ms. Matthews has influenced my success as a student at Cuesta College by being a constant support of help. She listens to any kind of problems that her students might be experiencing. She offers us guidance and support. She is a key asset to the nursing department here at Cuesta College, not only for myself, but for many other students that may be having struggles. Congratulations, Ms. Matthews, and thank you for your outstanding work.
Thank you so much for this recognition. Thank you, AGS, for being a supportive organization that inspires students and encourages these scholars to strive for excellence. This is, like Beth Ann said, a little bit like winning an Oscar. It's a little super exciting and a little daunting to be up here. So in that vein, I feel like I must acknowledge and thank my beautiful family who is here today. My husband Charles, my daughter Alexa, and my son Kyron, because they do support me in my chosen field of work, and they have to share me. And we work well as a family unit so that I can support all of the amazing students in the nursing program. And I also feel like I must thank the amazing team that is the nursing department, because I've landed in an amazing space with really talented faculty and staff, and it really, it's not necessarily the work you do, but the people that you work with that make it such a joy to come to work every day. So I've landed in an amazing department, and of course the students are phenomenal to work with. So I wanted to start with that. In the words of Mary Rose McGetty, there is no greater joy nor greater reward than to make a fundamental difference in someone's life. How lucky am I to have the opportunity to show support and caring every day to our remarkable nursing students. These students work incredibly hard with grueling schedules. Their determination and grit are what get them through to help them achieve their goals. They are working toward a career of service that will benefit all of society. I feel blessed to be a touchstone for these remarkable individuals. Students like Kelly make it incredibly easy, fun, and rewarding to do my job. I truly am blessed to be able to connect with them on a personal level and to just be there to help connect them to different services that will help them get to their overall goal, but also to get to know them on a human level. It's really, it really makes my day, it's fun, it's just fun. We also have some times of tears, and that's okay too, right? To be able to again, be that touchstone for someone when there's a tough time that they're going through, different challenges that they're facing. Because to get to where we want to go to achieve those goals, it's hard work. But I do feel really blessed. In the words of Jesse and Brian Mateo, even the smallest act of caring for another person is like a drop of water. It will make ripples throughout the entire pond. So let us all strive to continue to make those ripples as we go through life. Thank you, Kelly, for this nomination and for this gift of appreciation. Thank you.
Please join me in welcoming Professor Jeremy Shermack to the stage. Professor Shermack teaches in the journalism department. This is his first year at Cuesta College. Professor Shermack brings a passion for journalism. He also brings his experience from other newsrooms, helping the Cuestonian staff understand important legal aspects of being a journalist, how to properly write with Associated Press style in our articles, and how to conduct interviews in a professional manner. He allows time and space for students to explain the issues that they run into while they're pursuing their stories, and he offers constructive guidance. Professor Shermack has influenced my success as a student at Cuesta College by providing me with a realistic experience of what a career in journalism will be like. When we submit stories, he assigns other students to copy edit them before he performs the final edits, resulting in a professional end product for publication. He encourages me to think critically about the information in my articles, and through this approach, I feel more confident with each story that I write. Congratulations, Professor Shermack, and thank you for your outstanding work.
Good evening, everyone. Wow, I'm kind of blown away because I'm the new guy. I just moved here 4 months ago. I still use the GPS to get to the grocery store. My mom and dad still don't know how to pronounce San Luis Obispo. Back in the Midwest, I'm a Midwestern boy. Today when the earthquake warning came down, the tsunami alert, my dad texted me, "Are you alive?" I don't think he realizes what a big state California is just yet. So yeah, I teach journalism, and right now is kind of a difficult time to teach journalism. There's some world leaders, I won't name names, that don't really like us too much. There's a lot of pushback against truth. We're having debates about what is truth. And so we're having some really critical conversations in the classroom about what this means and how it affects us in what we do. But I can't imagine being anywhere else than here at Cuesta in the classroom having these critical conversations and having these discussions that mean so much, not only to the amazing students like Sarah and the students you see up here, but also just our country and our world. It really matters today more than ever, so I'm really proud of that. I became very interested in journalism when I was very young. In fact, I was 15 years old and I was sitting watching one of my brother's baseball games, and there was a reporter there. And I told my mom, "I'd like to do that, that'd be kind of cool." And my mom said something to me then that I say to my students today, and I say, "Go talk to them, go talk to them." And so I went up to the reporter, his name's Dave Johnson, he's still a friend, I've known him for 30 years now. And I said, "Hey, I want to do what you do." And he said, "Cool, when do you start?" "All right, you don't even know if I can write yet." He said, "Send me something." I said, "Okay." But I've always thought about that moment and the power that we can gain when we're not afraid to say hello to someone, when we're not afraid to talk to strangers. And that's as important today as it ever was, even though we have these digital lives and we connect digitally and virtually in all these different ways. So that's something I try to instill in my students. Talk to strangers, get the story. I started in journalism wanting to be a storyteller, and I worked as a journalist for several years being a storyteller, but this is where I belong, because now I'm part of the many students' stories that I've been able to experience over the years, and that's the greatest honor. So this is an amazing award. It means the world to me. I even put on my suit, so I'm really honored. I just want to thank everyone at Cuesta for being so welcoming. My division chair, Beth Ann Dumas, my dean, Aubrey Kwan Roderick, the administration. Everyone has just been amazing since I've gotten here. It's a really, really special place, and I'm just honored to call it home and honored to work with our amazing students. So thank you very much.
Please join me in welcoming Professor Nancy Wages to the stage. Professor Wages teaches in the nursing department here at Cuesta College. She has been an instructor here for 3 years. Professor Wages goes beyond normal expectations by emphasizing the need for nurses to be compassionate and understanding, not only towards our patients, but also towards their families. In times of emergencies, fear and anger are interchangeable and are expressed not only physically, but also verbally. Professor Wages helps us learn that not all pain is physical. So we must prepare to give our care and guidance to our patients and also to their loved ones. Professor Wages has influenced my success as a student here at Cuesta College with phenomenal support, encouragement, and assistance she offers to her students. She helps us become critical thinkers, problem solvers. The belief she has in her students helps them overcome their own self-doubt and to believe in their own abilities. Congratulations, Professor Wages, and thank you for your outstanding work.
Well, thank you. I will say that for someone who talks, my class is actually 8 hours long, and we have long courses in the LVN program, so as much as I can talk and go on and on in that class, it's amazing how I can still feel so uncomfortable in a group of people that I really don't know very well, so forgive me there. I think that in nursing, it's possibly a little bit different than some of the other places, or some of the other departments. This is really a celebration that I appreciate being a part of today. Also, you know, I think our students really learn that going to work every day and also being part of the nursing profession really is about lifting up and caring for humanity at its most fragile states, and to do so with a smile and a gentle hand, and maybe a little bit of whatever you bring from your own life that kind of gives you strength. I just think that in nursing, one of the things that we try to impart for the students is the different body systems, of course, whether it's respiratory or cardiac. But more important than that, I think that we need to understand that that we are all called on to be, you know, have integrity and honesty, and that caring for people in their most stressful and vulnerable times is just as important as anything that we can learn about the functions of the body. Last year in the poll that was taken, people said that overall, still, this has happened for several years, that nursing is in fact the most respected profession as far as deciding whether or not someone has integrity and honesty. That was the top one. And 80% of people thought that nurses in general had a very high level of integrity and honesty. And I think that as an instructor, part of my job is to ensure that the people that I move through this and into this career hold up that standard, right? So it's not just knowing about a system of the body, but to know that their honesty, their integrity, and their skills can come into play, and people will trust them with the lives of their own lives, and also the lives of their family, which sometimes means more to a lot of patients. So while we can, as a profession, we're very much a part of people's lives from their first breath until they are on the very end of their journey here. And I think that the Cuesta students have really pushed themselves and have been really dedicated to being successful in that. And I'm very much impressed with them, and it is an honor to be an instructor. I will say that Kelly and I have had our differences, and so I was very honored. The truth is, my career in nursing was in the emergency room, and we are a group, emergency nurses are more of a group of pranksters than we are of kindness. So when I got the email saying that I had received this award, I thought for sure I knew it was a prank, and I wanted to know who'd sent it to me. So it was nice to find out it wasn't a prank, but it took quite a bit of convincing, probably about 7 or 10 days worth of people saying, "I'm serious, it's not a prank." But I was surprised because when I found out it was Kelly, it's quite an honor because she and I have actually gone head to head on a couple of things. And she has just met every goal and every mark that I had hoped that she would. And I am so pleased that she appreciates some of the challenges that we have been through together. And I am very much impressed by her as well as I am with most of the students. So anyway, I wanted to just say thanks very much, and I think that's it. Thanks.
Our next honoree, Ms. Lisa Weirda, could not be with us tonight. Accepting on her behalf is Heidi Weber, Chair of Counseling Services. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Weber to the stage.
has served as a counselor at Cuesta College for 17 years. Ms. Weirda goes beyond normal expectations by patiently reviewing students' records to see whether any of the academic work they have done in the past can be applied to their current goals. She works with students to develop educational plans and advises them on all certificates and degrees they might be interested in and eligible for. The nominating AGS member wrote, Ms. Weirda has influenced my success as a student at Cuesta College by being positive, informative, friendly, and personable. She makes students feel welcome and important. The help she gives students not only enables them to plan their courses and degrees at Cuesta College, she also encourages students to think about what their next steps will be in terms of certificates, transfer degree programs, and graduate school. Congratulations, Ms. Weirda, and thank you for your outstanding work.
Hi. So again, thank you. I'm honored to accept this award on Ms. Weirda's behalf. And in her words, she says, thank you, thank you. This award is especially meaningful to me because it comes from students, reflecting the connections and impact that mean the most to me. Every day, I am reminded how fortunate I am to do the work I love, work that is truly meaningful because of the incredible students I have the privilege to serve. My life is so much richer because of you. Thank you for inspiring me and for being the very best part of my job. I am deeply touched and profoundly grateful. Thank you.
Congratulations again, and thanks to all of our wonderful honorees. Thanks to Dr. Stearns for being part of our event. Thanks to our Cuesta College jazz musicians for their great music. Thanks also to Richie Bermudez and Renee Montoyer for helping to make this event possible.